15 times King Charles crossed the line with Princess Diana. Biographers and historians have described the relationship between King Charles and his first wife, the late Princess Diana, as one of the most infamous and complex royal marriages in modern history. From the outside, their 1981 royal wedding appeared to be a true fairy tale. However, behind the scenes, the reality was far from picture perfect. From criticism over her choice of clothing to his brazen infidelity with Camilla Parker Bowles, King Charles apparently showed little concern for Diana's well-being or public image. Here are 15 of the most shocking times when King Charles allegedly crossed the line and hurt Princess Diana throughout their tumultuous marriage. Number 1. Engagement interview awkwardness. In their engagement interview in 1981, when asked by the reporter if they were in love, Lady Diana Spencer warmly responded, "Of course," while King Charles infamously replied, "Whatever in love means." This callous response embarrassed the blushing 19-year-old bride-to-be and was an early public sign of discord in their relationship. Many interpreted King Charles' detached answer as a lack of affection, commitment, or consideration for Princess Diana's feelings. Coming directly from the heir to the throne himself, it set an uneasy tone right from the start of their engagement. The cold response left Princess Diana questioning if he had any true warmth towards her at all, foreshadowing the emotional neglect she would later confess to experiencing. While King Charles did qualify his remark by saying love would grow with time, his choice of words seemed dismissive of Diana's earnest declaration of love. As their wedding day approached, the uncomfortable interview highlighted differences between the infatuated young bride and her significantly older fiancé, who was pressured into marriage by his family. It marked one of the first public instances where insensitive behavior from King Charles brought imbalance and awkwardness to the relationship. The awkward interview was an early indicator that King Charles did not seem to fully appreciate just how sheltered and vulnerable his teenage bride-to-be was. Princess Diana later said she felt overwhelmed and unprepared for royal life and yearned for guidance, affection, and moral support from her husband. However, King Charles' detached attitude showed he saw their marriage more as a duty than a romantic opportunity to nurture a loving partnership. Number 2. Camilla Parker Bowles. King Charles' refusal to end his affair with Camilla Parker Bowles after marrying Princess Diana was incredibly hurtful for her throughout their marriage. In Princess Diana's controversial 1995 interview, she uttered the now famous line, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." This highlighted how betrayed she felt by her husband's brazen infidelity. Having Charles' mistress constantly in the picture led to tremendous insecurity, loneliness, and jealousy for Princess Diana. King Charles prioritized Camilla over his wife, continuing to rely on her emotionally while neglecting Princess Diana. Phone transcripts leaked to the public confirmed their ongoing illicit relationship despite Charles' marital vows. Princess Diana understandably felt the need to seek affection outside her marriage as well, but was subjected to far more scorn and scrutiny from the royal family and media. To the public, King Charles' brazen cheating portrayed a callous lack of care for Princess Diana's well-being while she suffered silently from mental health issues. Princess Diana confessed she confronted and cried to Charles about his affair early on, but felt dismissed and belittled by his insistence that Camilla was non-negotiable. The callous refusal to stop seeing his mistress showed a blatant disregard for Princess Diana's rights as his wife and for her human dignity and psychological well-being. Princess Diana spoke of self-harm and suffering from bulimia due to the intense pain caused by Charles' infidelity. Number 3. Public criticisms. On various occasions, King Charles publicly criticized Princess Diana in ways that appeared condescending and demeaning, chipping away at her self-esteem. This included commenting on things like her choice of fashion, her enjoyment of pop music, and her inclination to dance on royal engagements. Princess Diana revealed in recordings that the king would make belittling jokes about her in front of others, embarrassing her. He was also said to disapprove of her iconic compassionate hugging of AIDS patients. Princess Diana felt constantly judged and undermined by someone who was supposed to support her. Princess Diana became a global fashion icon and role model, admired for her ability to modernize and humanize the monarchy. However, she recounted King Charles ridiculing even small decisions like her haircut. Sadly, enduring this frequent public criticism from her husband contributed to Princess Diana's struggles with bulimia and depression. Princess Diana spoke of feeling tremendous pressure to impress King Charles and seek his approval, while he interpreted her emotional distress as attention-seeking. This dismissive attitude only compounded her feelings of isolation and low self-worth. She tried desperately to be a dutiful royal wife and mother, but felt betrayed by her husband's callousness. Number 4. Emotional neglect. Princess Diana spoke candidly in interviews about feeling emotionally unsupported, misunderstood, and neglected during her marriage. She described King Charles as being uninterested in her needs or feelings, prioritizing his work and passions instead. Princess Diana's cries for help and revelations about her deteriorating mental health were dismissed. The king showed impatience and a lack of empathy when she was suffering from postpartum depression as well. Princess Diana felt increasingly isolated and alone in her marriage. Having endured an unstable childhood herself, Princess Diana yearned for comfort and affection from her husband. However, callous remarks from King Charles, like saying he refused to be a shoulder to cry on, exacerbated her feelings of rejection. Charles' emotional unavailability meant Princess Diana felt she had nowhere to turn as she spiraled into dangerous eating disorders and depression. Former staff members have since corroborated Princess Diana's accounts of King Charles being absent and disinterested in listening to his wife's problems. Others recalled him publicly humiliating or ignoring Princess Diana when she was visibly distressed. This emotional neglect took a significant psychological toll on the princess. Number 5. The Squidy Tapes. In 1992, intimate private phone conversations between Princess Diana and her close friend James Gilby were leaked to the public in a scandal dubbed Squidygate. The affectionate tapes exposed Princess Diana's deep unhappiness within the royal family. She was heard lamenting about life under the microscope, her deteriorating marriage, King Charles' affair with Camilla, and the lack of support she felt from the royals. The deeply personal recordings provided evidence of just how isolated, betrayed, and low Princess Diana felt due to her husband's neglect. The scandalous leak was incredibly embarrassing for Princess Diana and viewed as a severe breach of her privacy. However, the tapes gave valuable insight into the suffering she endured silently while portrayed publicly as happy. They served as proof of how much King Charles' behavior behind the scenes damaged Princess Diana psychologically. In the tapes, Princess Diana confessed she loved King Charles, but felt scared of him at times too. She spoke of running to the bathroom to cry due to his callousness. Her entire persona on the recordings revealed a frightened young woman, starving for attention and validation, needs her husband chose to ignore. Number 6. The Camilla Tapes. In 1993, intimate private phone conversations between King Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles were leaked in a scandal dubbed Camilla Gate. The tapes confirmed the extent of their ongoing affair despite Charles' marriage to Princess Diana. The tapes were deeply humiliating for Princess Diana, exposing explicit details of Charles' relationship with his mistress. In them, he expressed wishing to live inside Camilla's trousers and even be her tampon. Princess Diana was devastated when the transcripts were published. The explicit conversations were concrete proof of how little her husband valued or respected her. They showed he prioritized his sexual relationship with Camilla over trying to repair things with his deeply depressed wife. It represented the ultimate public betrayal of Princess Diana. The scandal made a mockery of Charles' image as the future head of the Church of England. Meanwhile, Princess Diana was judged harshly by the royal family for her affair. Once again, there was a blatant double standard, with Charles' infidelity being downplayed while Princess Diana was vilified. Number 7. Dismissal of Princess Diana's concerns. Princess Diana spoke of how suggestions to seek professional help for her worsening mental health issues were dismissed by King Charles and the royal family. She recounted how her cries for support were ignored, with Charles' staff even jokingly calling her a loose cannon. When Princess Diana confronted the king about resuming his affair with Camilla, he brushed off her distress. Charles made it clear he refused to end the relationship for Princess Diana's sake, ignoring the anguish it caused her. The royal family treated Princess Diana's struggles as an inconvenience rather than offering compassion. Former royal staff have corroborated stories of Princess Diana's concerns being belittled and blamed on her supposed paranoia or imagination. Sadly, this isolation and dismissal prevented Princess Diana from getting badly needed psychiatric treatment much earlier. Number 8. Competing for media attention. There were numerous reports over the years of King Charles feeling jealous and competitive with the intense media attention and public praise showered on Princess Diana. Though she initially shied from the spotlight, her warm, modern approach to royal duties made her a global sensation. Princess Diana said Charles made sarcastic digs about her popularity, press coverage, and fans. She recounted him accusing the media of turning her into a celebrity, which she insisted she had no control over. Charles' bitterness strained the relationship and added to Princess Diana's insecurities. While Princess Diana brought immense positives to the royal family's public image, King Charles seemingly grew resentful of her fame rather than proud. Princess Diana felt his paranoid jealousy, whether over media coverage or the time she spent on philanthropic work, created an oppressive, toxic environment. Number 9. Different interests and values. Princess Diana and King Charles had vastly different interests, passions, and outlooks on life. Princess Diana embraced modern trends and loved dancing, pop music, fashion, and connecting with the public. King Charles preferred traditional culture like opera, theater, and polo. Princess Diana took a hands-on approach to charity work, personally hugging, listening to, and spending time with the sick or downtrodden. Charles was more removed, preferring charitable work like architectural preservation over direct empathy for the disadvantaged. The disconnect between their values was pronounced. Princess Diana longed for emotional intimacy with her husband, while Charles seemed to prioritize his role as future king over being an attentive, loving partner to his wife. He failed to nurture the things that mattered most to Princess Diana. Number 10. Public revelation of affairs. In 1994, King Charles admitted in a televised interview that he had remained unfaithful to Princess Diana throughout their marriage. While Princess Diana had also confessed to an affair by this point, Charles' very public confession of adultery to millions of viewers was a deep humiliation for her. The interview was the ultimate betrayal. Princess Diana was still reeling from the Camilla tapes a year earlier. She looked visibly shaken, watching Charles not just admit cheating, but proclaim he had never loved her the way he loved Camilla. For Princess Diana, the televised interview was the final nail in the coffin. She had revealed so much suffering over the years, trying to portray a strong facade. For Charles to then publicly expose her as a failure as a wife was utterly devastating. It sealed the end of any chances of saving their marriage. Number 11. Handling of Princess Diana's death. After Princess Diana's tragic death in 1997, there was intense public criticism over how King Charles and the royal family responded to the outpouring of grief. When the news broke, the royals remained silent at their Balmoral estate, making no public statements for days. Meanwhile, the public was distraught at the loss of Princess Diana, who had become a beloved icon representing compassion. Tens of thousands of mourners gathered outside Kensington Palace, expecting the royals to address the shocking loss. King Charles in particular was blamed for appearing cold and unemotional. He declined to fly the flag at half-mast over Buckingham Palace as the public demanded. The perception was that the royals were disconnected from the public's mourning. It took heavy pressure for the king to eventually return to London and address the public, but Princess Diana's brother Charles Spencer was seen as far more in tune with the public's grief at her funeral. King Charles' rocky relationship with the princess led to accusations that he was indifferent to her death. Number 12. Marriage to Camilla. King Charles' marriage to his long-term love, Camilla Parker Bowles, in 2005 was controversial, as many felt it dishonored the memory of Princess Diana. While Princess Diana was blamed for adultery, Charles marrying his mistress reinforced a double standard. To some, it appeared callous for Charles to flaunt this relationship that had caused Princess Diana such pain. It revived public anger over his treatment of the beloved princess. Tabloid newspapers dubbed Camilla the most hated woman in Britain, while King Charles insisted he had Princess Diana's blessing. Many felt he prioritized his desires over respecting his first wife's legacy. Princess Diana's loyal fans deemed it unacceptable for Camilla to ever have the title of queen consort. Overall, King Charles' choice to make Camilla his wife and queen was seen as profoundly insensitive to Princess Diana's memory and an insult to her years of suffering. It put his obsession with Camilla over consideration of British public opinion. Number 13. Treatment of Princess Diana's legacy. In recent years, King Charles has faced some criticism over his handling of Princess Diana's legacy. This includes everything from the preservation of her property to allowing her sons to honor her charitable causes. For instance, Princess Diana's iconic dresses were loaned out rather than preserved. Prince William had to intervene to secure her wedding dress for public display. There have been disputes over proposed memorial statues as well. The king rejected the idea of a tribute garden requested by Prince William and Harry at Kensington Palace. He was accused of minimizing Princess Diana's AIDS advocacy by not assigning William and Harry as patrons of her charities. To the devoted followers of Princess Diana, it often appears her charitable work and place in history have been marginalized. They accuse the royal family of sidelining Princess Diana's memory in favor of elevating Charles' wife Camilla. Number 14. Lack of empathy for Princess Diana's struggles. Even after Princess Diana's death, King Charles has been criticized for displaying a lack of empathy for her struggles within royal life. In authorized biographies, he's described as frustrated and impatient with her insecurities and moodiness. Princess Diana's bulimia is dismissed as attention-seeking behavior. Her crying and distress over Charles' affair are blamed for pushing him back to Camilla. Little ownership or compassion is shown for how Charles' own behavior impacted Princess Diana's mental state. Years later, it still appears King Charles fails to fully appreciate how his coldness and neglect contributed to Princess Diana's suffering behind closed doors. He seems unable or unwilling to acknowledge the damage his actions inflicted. Number 15. Parenting conflicts. As revealed in later interviews, Princess Diana and King Charles had different views on parenting their sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. This led to tension between the couple. Princess Diana took a hands-on, affectionate approach, while Charles favored a more old-fashioned, formal style. Princess Diana embraced hugs and talked openly with the boys, which Charles discouraged. After the divorce, joint custody resulted in conflicting techniques. William and Harry themselves have since hinted their parents' parenting disagreements added stress to an already difficult family situation. Both praised Princess Diana's warmth, which they seemed to lack with their father as children. The opposing parenting approaches highlight just how wide the gulf was between King Charles and Princess Diana's values and worldviews. Princess Diana's nurturing contrasted sharply with Charles' emotional distance. From public humiliations to brazen affairs, their tragic relationship was far more toxic behind the scenes than the fairy tale facade presented to the public. What do you think about King Charles' treatment of Princess Diana throughout their relationship? Do you feel he showed negligence, callousness, or even cruelty towards her? Or was he also a victim of circumstances? Leave your opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you find this video interesting. Until next time, bye. Thanks for watching.